All right, so the first thing we're going to look at today is fractiles. Fractiles are the numbers that we're going to divide the data set into equal parts. Okay, so fractile is an order data. So you're going to think about everything that we do in this class. You're going to have a data list given to you. But this one, that data list is already in order. Okay, and what we do is the fractile will divide into equal parts. So we're going to have a few parts. We're going to look at those in a minute. But fractiles being, if you have a list of data, I will split it up into groups, and each group has the same amount of data in it. So I split them into, the keyword is equal parts. Okay. I tried. I'm using the iPad, and with this pen, it's really hard to write. My handwriting is much better, so I'm sorry. I tried, but it's not doing really well with my handwriting, so I apologize for that. Yes, sorry, Ellie. So I'm going to read this as an order data and divide into equal part. It's really hard to write on the screen. Okay. So what we're going to do with this one is that we're going to look at data. Give you a few seconds to copy this down. So we're going to think about quartiles. Quartiles, we're going to split this into equal parts, so that way we can compare ourselves to the population. Where are you compared to this entire population? Okay. So quartile, for this one, the first one, we look at the test score of 15 employees in CPR training course are listed. So they ask you to find the first, the second, and the third quartile. Quartiles is the three. I'm going to split this into 3 equal parts. Okay. So here's how we're going to do it. So let's not copy it, but I want you to look at what I'm doing, and then I'll give you the time to copy it down. Okay. Make sure you write down the step. I think, like I said, I'll give you a chance to copy it down, but you should have it on paper so you can follow along. So step number 1. What I'm going to do with step 1, okay, step 1 is that I'm going to find the median. So I'm looking at this one, this list. Number 1, I'm going to find the median. So before I can find the medians, I have to put them in order. So step number 1, I have to put things in order. Okay, so in here I have 7. I'm going to relist this one to 7. Sorry, number 5 first. My bad. 5, 7, then 9. So step number 1, I have to put this in order for me to find the quartile. And then we talk about what those means in 1 second. Okay, the quartiles is you split it up and we're going to compare data. So number 1, split it up. 5, 7, 9, 10. And then we have 11. And then what is the next one? 13. 14, and then 15. And then I have 16, 17. There are 2 18s. I'm going to list them out twice. Okay. So I list 18 out twice, and then I have 20, 21, and the last number is 37. Okay. So step number 1, I reorder my numbers from the least to greatest. Question for me so far on what I just did? Right, if you just joined, there's a link in the chat. Go ahead and click on that one. Okay. Step 2, I will find the median of this list. So find median. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to put in the chat, or you can unmute, and some of you feel comfortable to do that. How do we find the median of this list? Which number am I looking at? How do we find the median? If you remember, what is the median? Or you can just tell me the median of this list, what that is.
You're gonna want to cross out the first number from the left
to
the right until you get to the one in the middle.
The number in the middle, yes. Okay. So let's see. I have 15 numbers. So that's mean I'm gonna have 7 on each. So I keep going.
And sometimes you can have 2 medians.
Yes, for sure. So when you have 2 numbers, what do you do if you have 2 numbers in the middle? If you happen to have 2 numbers, what do you do with those 2 numbers? Do you remember? Yeah, add them up and divide. Yes, that's correct. So by looking in here, I'm going to use my highlighter because I don't want to cross out my values. So keep moving in, moving in. Okay, so if my median would be 15. So this is my median. So my median in this case is 15. So I got my median. So now what I would do, once I find the median, I split this into 2 equal parts. This is my lower half, and this is my upper half. So I'm going to call this lower half. And again, I apologize for my handwriting. I'm trying really hard to make it clear for you, okay? So the median, step number 2, I'm going to find the median. So now I split the data into the lower half and the upper half. Question for me so far? We okay? Good? I'm going to go to step 3. For step 3, I'm going to find the median again. Okay, so for step 3, I'm going to find the median again, but now I'm going to find for the upper and the lower half. So I'm going to find that median for the 2 groups that I have. So I'm going to do the median again. So for this practice, you're going to find the median 3 times. The first time, the median for the entire set. The second time, the lower half, and the median of the upper half. All right. So let's look in here. My median of this whoops, sorry, I did not mean to hit. So my number is gonna be this. So this is another median. Okay. I'm doing the same thing for the upper half. I'm gonna find that median for the upper half. So I can, I don't want that. So cross that number. Okay. So this is my upper half. That's the median. Still with me so far? Am I losing anyone? Please let me know. I'm almost done with this question. It's asking to find the first, the second, and the third quartile. Okay, so now once I highlight my medians, I'm just going to label, this will be quartile, the first quartile, which is Q1. This is the second quartile, which is Q2, and this is Q3, which is the third quartile. So when they ask you to find quartiles, that's how I would do it. I split my data into equal parts, and then I'm using the median to split them up in equal parts. So in here you can see I have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I have 4 equal parts. And Q1, Q3, Q1, Q2, and Q3 split my data up into 4 equal parts. What are my quartiles? Split up the data into 4 equal parts. Questions for me on how to find the first, the second, and third quartiles. Okay, go ahead and copy this down. If you need to jot down the steps, you need to copy this on a piece of paper, do so. I'll give you a few seconds to do it. And then we'll do another example. So go ahead and copy this down. So I'll give you a few seconds. In the meantime, ask questions. Let me know if I need to clarify something for you. Okay, remember the steps. It's okay if you don't. Yes, Elizabeth, put them in order. So that is the first step. You have to put this in order because you need to know the what I'm trying to say. We need to know the median, so we have to put them in order. Okay, so let's look in here. We have 25 numbers. So again, let's write this. So first, the lowest number is 15. So I'm going to label 15. Okay. Then the next one would be 19. Okay. Because I'll do it by hand, so what I'm going to do is instead of do all 25, I'm just going to do the bottom, this list. That way it shouldn't take too long. When we have 25, we have a long list. I'm going to show you how to use a Google Sheet, so I think that would be faster. But for now, let's just do this list, this bottom. Okay, we're going to rearrange that list only. So I'm going to start with 19. Then I have 220. Then I have 22. There are 22. Then 23. I have 2 of those. The next, I have one more 23. Sorry. And then I have 28. There's 2 28. And then I have 2 29. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I have 11 numbers together. So step number 1, put things in order. So step 1, order it. Okay. Step 2, what do I do with step 2? If you write that down, is if you have it down, then you can look at the step like, okay, this is what I should do next. So for step 2, after I put them in order, step 2, what do I do? Find, not the mean. Start with the m, but it's not the mean. The mean is I add them up and divide. That's not, I'm not finding the mean. Yep, the median. Yes, correct. So step 2, I'm going to find the median. Okay. So now for the median, because I have these numbers, so I can just kind of highlight what I have until I can find the number in the middle. So my median is 23. So that's my first median. So remember, when I have the medians, I split my data into 2 equal parts. This one I call the lower half. And this side is the upper half. All right. So when I split this into 2 equal parts, the lower half and the upper half. What do I do with these two? What is my step 3? Put down step 3. If you just join the class, there's a link. So now I'm going to get to step 3. So I find the median, right, for the entire data set. With that median, I split the data into 2 equal parts. Now what do I do with the lower half and what do I do with the upper half? Find the median again, yes. So I'm find the median, but now I'm find the median of the lower half. So notice when I do this, I don't count the 23 anymore. I already use the 23. Notice I already circle it. So 23 is not part of my data set anymore, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find the median, but I'm not gonna look at 23. I'm just looking here, from here. Notice this is my lower half. So from 19, from this number to this number, okay? All right, so let's see. I have 19. Okay, so that give me, this is my median, 20. I'm doing the same thing with my upper half. So notice I'm gonna start from here to here, okay? All right, so let's see. So my, okay, so I'm finding the median again. So median of the upper and the lower, okay? And now step 4, I'm just gonna label Q1, Q2, and Q3. So I'm just gonna go in this order. Q1 is the first circle, Q2 is the second one, Q3 is the third one. So that's how you find the first, the second, and the third quartile. Questions for me?